Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. As long as these kleshas are there, satimule tad vipako, there will be result of those kleshas in the form of jati, ayu and bhog. Birth, longevity and the bhog, the experiences. So, satsu klesheshu karmashayo vipakarambhi bhavati na uchinna kleshamulaha. Therefore, as long as the kleshas are there, the karma-ashaya will be there, and as a result, there will be the wheel of death, birth, it will continue. This we have seen yesterday. Now, in this particular sutra, Bhagavan Vedavyasa has explained many things. And I will advise you to read and see how best you can understand. I will try to explain to you in short. First, yatha tushanavadhaha shalitandulaha adagda bijabhava praroha samartha bhavanti na apanita tusha dagda bijabhava tatha kleshanavadhaha karmashayo vibaka prarohi bhavati. Just like tushanuvadha Shali Tandula Adagda Bija Bhava Praroha Samartha Bhavanti. When the paddy is along with its skin and it is not separated from the sea or the rice and it is not roasted, then that paddy is capable of producing the next generation. And if that paddy is roasted, then it is not. So, na apanita tusha dagda bija bhavava. Tatha, in the same manner, kleshanavadha karmashayo vipaka prarohi bhavati. So, the kleshanavadha karmashayaha, the karmashaya associated with the klesha, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, vinivesh, they become capable of producing the next jati, ayu, bhoga. And na apanita kleshaha, na prasankhyana dagda klesha bija bhavo va iti. But not those kleshas which are removed or those kleshas which are dagda bija bhavaha, the fifth condition, which is as a result of the prasankhyana or as a result of viveka khyati. So because of the viveka khyati, the kleshas become dagda bija bhava, roasted seeds like, and therefore they don't. Now, from here, such a vipaka strividho jatir ayu bhoga iti. Now this vipaka is the result. This result of these kleshas or the karmashaya is in three ways. So which are these three ways? Jati, ayu, bhoga iti. So this karma ashaya, which is the result of the kleshas, pancha kleshas, results into these three effects: birth, longevity and experiences, good or bad, that are due in this particular life. Tatra idam vicharyate. Now let us think about these karma samskar, which are those karma which give two types of results. This is the one which we will think. Tatra idam vicharyate. Kim ekam karmasya ekam janmanaha karanam atha ekam karma anekam janma akshipatiti. Whether one karma means karmashaya, whether one karma or the karmashaya will be resulting into one birth or will be resulting into many births. first, inquiry. Because we have done so many karmas in last so many lives. So each karma will give us separate birth. Suppose there are n number of karmas. So will there be n number of births, one per karma? This is one inquiry. Tatra vicharyate. Kim ekam karmasya ekam janmanaha karanam atha ekam karma anekam janma akshipati iti. Now, dvitiya vicharana. Now, second option. Kim anekam karma anekam janma nivartayati atha anekam karma ekam janma nivartayati iti. The second one is whether many karmas will give one birth or many karmas will give many births. The second option. And na tavad ekam karmasya ekajanmanaha karanam kasmat. Now here the reply is given, no, it is not like that. Because kasmat anadi kala prachitasya asankheya avashishta karmanaha sampratikasya phalakrama aniyamat lokasya anashvasaha. Suppose you say that there is so many karmas, and which karma will give when karma phala nobody knows, and last karma life we have done the karma, they may not give karma phala in the next life, etc. If this way it is taken, then the people will have no faith in the karma siddhanta. So anadi kala prachitasya asankheyasya avishishtasya karmanaha. So anadikala, prachita is accumulated. Those karmas which are accumulated from the time unknown, and asankheyasya, and they are innumerable. And avishishtasya karmanaha, and there is no particular type of good or bad karma, they could be anything. Therefore sampratikasya karma phala krama aniyamat. And there is no particular rule that when the karma is done, number one, it should get the first karma phala. No. Because every karma and the karma phala will have a different gestation length. Some karma will give instantaneous results, some karma will give very late results. And therefore there cannot be any krama niyama. That if the karma is done earlier, we should get the result earlier, not necessary. And therefore, nacha sacha anishta iti, and this is not acceptable. Nacha ekam karmasya ekam karma anekasya janmanaha karanam. Similarly, one karma cannot become the cause of many births. Kasmat, why? Anekeshu karmasu ekam eva karma anekasya janmanaha karanam iti avishishtasya vipaka kala bhavaha prasakta cha api anishtaha iti. Suppose we say that anekeshu karmasu ekam karma. So out of many karmas, only one result is taking place, and therefore janmanaha karanam iti avashishtasya. And then there will be such a chaos, there so many karmas are there, and by the time you finish, the result of one karma is one birth, other karma is there another birth, and in this way it will become a big chaos, and it is anishta. Therefore nacha anekam karma anekasya janmanaha karanam. Therefore many karmas do not produce many janmas. Tad anekam janma yugapanna sambhavati iti. Because many births are not possible simultaneously. They will be coming one by one. And therefore, kramena eva vachyam. And therefore, it is not possible that whether one karma will give one birth, one karma will give many births, many karma will give one birth, many karma will give many births. All this thing is not possible. Krishna. Now, तस्मात् जन्म प्रायणांतरे कृतः पुण्य पुण्य कर्म आशय प्रजयः विचित्र प्रधान उपसर्जन भावेन अवस्थितः प्रायणाभिव्यक्तः एक प्रघट्टेन मिलित्वा मरणं प्रसाद्य सम्मूर्छितः एकम एव जन्म करोति. Now what is the conclusion? Conclusion is this. Therefore, तस्मात् जन्म प्रायणांतरे कृतः, in the last life before that death. So the total last life from birth till death. So So in our last life, whatever punya, apunya, karma, ashaya, prachayaha, the total karma, good or bad karma, together, vichitra, pradhana, upabhoga, upasarjana bhavena, avastitaha. And as a result, the whole karmashaya, shabda use is eka praghatyena militva, that becomes one bundle. So all the karmas of our last life, that becomes one bundle, and as a result of that one bundle, we are getting this life. Now go back to 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram. So whatever good or bad karma we have done, and the last thought is a particular thought, according to that we get our next life. Therefore, the total karmas put together as one bundle in the last life, they are responsible for our this life. So, militva maranam prasadhya sammurchita eva ekam eva janma karoti. That means the total karmas, whatever we have done, whether one or million, so all of them, they give only one janma. This is the meaning. Now further, tacca janma tenaiva karmana labdha yushkam bhavati. So, now this birth, which is as a result of the total karma of the last life, so this is the first result, karma vipaka. What was the three karma vipaka? Jati, ayur, bhogaha. So jati, the birth has already taken place because of the total karmas of our last life. So, tacca janma tenaiva karmana labdha yushkam bhavati tasmin ayushu tenaiva karmana bhoga sampadhyati iti. So by the same karma, that means the total karmas of the last life, we have got the present birth. And because of the total karma of the last life, we will have the total longevity of this life. And because of the total karma of the last life, we will have all the bhoga of this life. So what is the rule, the result therefore? That our immediate past life determines our present life. See how important it is. Therefore, it is necessary for all of us to remember that nahi kalyana krut kaschit durgatim tat gacchati. In the 6th chapter, Bhagavan told us that when the yogi has been practicing his yoga abhyas, and as a result of the yoga abhyas, he has attained punya karma, he has become purified, but he had lots of desires in his mind. Then either he will go to heaven, or he will be born as a human being in the Shuchinam Shrimatam Gehe, in the rich and the pure families. Or if that yogi did not have any desires, Nishkama Karma Yogi, if he was of that type, then he will be born Athava Yogi Nameva Kule Bhavati Dhimatam. Therefore, our last life is immediately reflected in the present life. This is the meaning. That is why Bhagavad Shastra tells, what was our last address is known by our present lifestyle. If we are frustrated, complaining, disgusted, depressed, and feeling very low, all the time miserable, we have just come from the hell. Because in the hell, you can't have a comfortable life. So, all the karmashaya accumulated, and with that you are born in this life. Now how true it is, you see, those children who are born in a family where there is only one child. Now the child gets everything whatever he wants. And when that child grows up, he is totally different than the other children. He cannot share, he cannot tolerate, he cannot think of anything else except I. And other family where the children are a dozen in number and everybody has to share everything. They have to take food in a common plate because there are not so many plates. There are 2-3 of them have to sleep together in the same bed. Now when such children are grown up, they have a different lifestyle. Therefore, our last life's karmashaya are determining and influencing our present life. So, tasmat janma prayanantare krutaha. So, in the last life, from birth to death, whatever karma we have done, that together gives the ekameva janma karoti. Only one, the present life is given. Then, taccha janma tenaiva karmana labdha yushkam bhavati. And that life which is gained as a result of the karma from the last life, that karma alone determines what is the longevity. So, janma, ayu. And bhoga. And tasmin ayushi tenaiva karmana bhogaha sampadhyati iti. So in that next life, because of the earlier karma that we have done, in the last life, all our bhogas are determined. So, I remember, once I was in Delhi, and we were going by car somewhere, and on the road divider, they have planted some plants. And all the emissions from the car goes and lands on those plants. So, a person who was driving me says, Swamiji, what sin these plants must have done? Instead of growing in a beautiful garden or in the jungle in a fresh, they are growing here and all the emission of the whole Delhi is going on them. Like a capital punishment. What could be the reason? I say, there is nothing wrong. All these plants in Delhi, they are the politicians of their last life. And they never wanted to leave Delhi. So they are born and planted in Delhi. Now they have really misappropriated, tortured and destroyed the country. So, bhoga and ayuhu. And as much they have committed the damage to the nation, till then they will continue. So some of the plants will stay there for maybe only 5 years because only one term politician. Some of the plants may stay there for 25, 30 years, maybe because 5 terms politician. So depending on that, the plants are there. Therefore, please remember, Bhagavan very clearly tells that we may imagine that whatever good or bad we are doing, it will be forgotten. No, we are preparing our blueprint for the next life. That is why it is very, very important. Now, after having said this, now, asau karmashayo janma ayu bhoga hetutvad trivipako abhidhiyate iti. Now this karmashaya prachaya, the total karmas of the last life, because they are responsible to give us all the 3 results, jati, janma, birth, ayuhu, longevity, and bhogaha, experiences. All the 3 are given by the karmashaya from the last life. Therefore it is called as trivipako iti abhidhiyate. So what is the trivipaka karmashaya? That karmashaya because of which all the 3 results come in our present life. So, janma ayur bhoga hetutva trivipako iti abhidhiyate. Ataha eka bhavikaha karmashaya ukta iti. Now we will talk about eka bhavika karmashaya. It was 3, now it is 1. What is that? दृष्ट जन्म वेदनीय कत्वेन विपाकारंभी भोग हेतुत्वाद द्विविपाकारंभी वा भोग आयु हेतुत्वाद नंदीश्वरवत नहुषवत वा इति. नाउ द सेकंड टाइप, दृष्ट जन्म वेदनीय, we do some karma in the present life. Example given, Nandishwara and this Nahusha. They have done some karma, and as the result of which they got the result immediately in the same life. Therefore, those karmas have not given them a new birth. but within the same life. And therefore, they are called as dvivipaka. Only the ayush and the bhog are given, not the janma, not the birth. Now, klesha karma vipaka anubhava nivartitaha bistu vasanabhihi anadikala sammurchitam idam chittam vichitra krutam iva sarvato matsyajalam granthabihi iva atatam iti eta aneka bhav purvika vasana. Now here, the difference between the karma and the vasana is brought out. Karma, shaya and vasana. Now what is the meaning of the karma, shaya and the vasana? So, klesha karma vipaka anubhava nivartitaha bhihi. Vasanas are the result of experiences. Vasana means impression. For example, I have experienced this particular food as very good. So I will like that. So, the experience, anubhava janya, klesha karma vipaka anubhava nivartita, they create the vasanas. And by this vasana bihi anadikala sammurjitam idam chittam. Now our chittam is influenced by this vasana anadikala, from the time immemorial. And therefore, vichitram krutam eva sarvataha matsyajala granthi bihi eva atatam iti eta. And it has become like what? Like the net which is used by the fisherman to catch the fish. And what is the speciality of the net? There are so many knots in that. In the same manner, our chitta has become naughty. And every knot is the vasana prachaya collected from many, many lives. And aneka bhava purvika vasana, and these are many, many vasanas born out of the earlier experiences in the earlier life, not only the last life. So, now there are two things. One is, whatever good or bad karma we have done in the last life, that has produced the karma vipaka, because of which we have the jati, ayurvhoga, birth, longevity and experiences. Now, we have lived in earlier lives also, good or bad experiences, not karma. So when we have had good and bad experiences, those good and bad experiences are gathered in the form of the vasana. And aneka bhavapurvika vasana. So they are collected from many, many births earlier. So yaha tu ayam karmashaya esha eva eka bhavikaha upta iti. And this karmashaya from the last life is called as eka bhavika. So that which is giving us birth is the last life's karmashaya eka bhavika, from the one life. And the vasanas are aneka bhavika purvika. They are collected from many, many lives. That is why, again I tell you that example of that many masters, many lives. There all these points become very clear. Although it is a story form, but if you have the background, you can understand. There that Catherine had a problem. She had gone through some good or bad experiences in her earlier lives. And those vasanas were so prominent and powerful that they were reflecting in the present life. Now be very attentive. Because of her last life's karma vipaka, she had this particular life, this particular longevity and the different types of experiences, bhoga. During that life period, the old samskara from the earlier many lives, they used to overpower, and there used to be a kind of background music. What is the background music? She is living in the present life, but she will have fear of darkness. Another place, case I have heard from the doctor who treated. And this is a case which is treated, and they could successfully help that girl. This girl was, in love with a man who was a terribly bad kind of person. And girl was very good. And this man was about 40, 45, And this girl was hardly 16, 17 years. And he is to treat her, abuse her, but she will be after him. So, one day she went to this doctor friend of mine and asked, what is this is happening? I do not know. Although everybody tells me, and I also feel I should leave him, but I just can't. What is that because of which I can't? Then she said, okay, let us have some sessions. And then she started, she tells something about your life and all that. So, when she was small, during that time they were 2, 3 brothers, sisters, and she was the eldest one. In the last life, she was the eldest one. And therefore she was looking after her father and all the children, the siblings. And as a result, she had no time for herself. So when any boy will come and propose her, he will say, no, not now. I am busy with my father, with my sister, with my brothers. And as a result, when she all the time rejected, naturally nobody thereafter proposed her. And when her all brothers, sisters were mature enough, they went, father died, and this lady became by then 40, and nobody was proposing her. And she had that hunger. Somebody should propose me, somebody should like me, somebody should tell me, I love you and all that. Nobody did. And in that frustration she died. Now in the present life, when she was born, and when she became 15, and she also from a very poor family, and this old man one day, old means in comparison to her age, he was old. She was hardly 15, 16, he was more than 40, 45. So he casually told her in a mall, public mall, hey, you are very sweet. It was enough. Because that was the first time somebody told her she is sweet and proposed her. See how much the old samskaras. And when this was revealed in that psychiatrist sittings, and thereafter she got rid of, she knew this is what has happened. Therefore, 2 things. One is karmashaya from the last life. Second is the vasana. They are aneka bhava purvika. They are the collection from many, many lives. That is why, we have, all of us have some kind of peculiar attraction for somebody, some of our habits, some of our fears. This is only because of the old vasanas, which experiences we have gone through. So what is the conclusion? Karma give the karma phala ashaya, samskar, because of which our present life is. And vasanas are collections of the experience in the form of the memories. And those memories go so deep in us that they make our character in the form of various idiosyncrasies in different way. So ye samskaraha smriti hetavaha ta vasanasta cha anadi kalina iti. Therefore these vasanas are from anadikal, from the time immemorial. So yaha tu asavika bhavika karmashaya sa niyata vipakaha cha aniyata vipakascha. Now yaha tu asau eka bhavika karmashaya. Now this karmashaya from the last life, eka bhavika karmashaya. Now this is of 2 types. What it is? Niyata vipaka and aniyata vipaka. Niyata vipaka means that which will have a proper predictable manifestation. And the second will be aniyata vipaka, where we'll have no predictable manifestation. Now tatra, between these 2, tatra adrushta janma vedaniyasya niyata vipakasya eva ayam niyamo na drushta janma vedaniyasya aniyata vipakasya. Now this niyam is for the adrushta janma vedaniyasya, for the vipaka which are from the earlier lives, and not the vipaka from the present life. Why? यो hi adrushta janma vedaniyaha aniyata vipakaha. Because the adrushta janma, that means the earlier life. So earlier life, that karmashaya is the total karmas. What are they are? They are aniyata vipaka tasya trayi gati. They are ending in three ways. Which are those three ways? Krutasya avipakwasya nashaha. Then pradhana karmani avapagamanam va. And the third is niyata vipaka pradhana karmana abhibhutasya va chiram avasthanam iti. These are the three conditions which happen with reference to these aniyata vipaka. And these are very unique. Now, which are those? So, krutasya avipakwasya nashaha. So, whatever karma phala we have done, and they have not yet given their karma result. And before giving their karma result, the jiva has transcended. Therefore, they do not trouble him. This is one possibility. Second is pradhana karmani avapagamanam. So, whichever is the present major lifestyle, in them those karmashayas are included. And the third is niyata vipaka pradhana karmana avasthanam. Or when the pradhana karma, the primary karmas, when they are manifesting, so the old karmashayas or the vasanas, they become dormant for many years. And in this manner, these uncontrolled, indisciplined karmashayas, one can never know what will happen. And that is why it is said, gahana karmano gatihi. Kim karma kima karmeti kavayopyatra mohitaha. Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita. Now, after having told this, now these three things which I told you in short, here they are given in a great, details in the thing. For example, krutasya avipakvasya nashaha. Whatever good karma or bad karma we have done, without giving the results, they disappear. For example, yatha shukla karmodayat krishnasya iheva nashaha. When shukla means good, punya karma, good karma. When good karmas become prominent in our life, then krishnasya iheva nashaha. Then the bad karma are no more able to influence us. Yatra idam uktam. It is said in this manner that dve havai karmani veditavve. Therefore, there are two types of karmas, and punya papa rupe dve karmani purushe veditavve iti avadharayitavve. Dve iti vipsa purushe bhedat karma bheda vipreta iti ukta. Now, punya krutaha ekarashi and papakasya anya. So, we have the two kinds of such accumulations, punya and the papa. And then, papakasya punya rashi apahanti. So, when the punyas become overpowered, then the papa or the results of the sinfuls are quietened. And in this manner, here, tat sukrutani karmani iha eva kartum ichhasva. Why this is said? Because this is the instruction the Kavi, the wise people have to give. Therefore, tasmad sukrutani karmani iha eva kartum ichhasva. While we are living in the present life, if we live in a good way, then our earlier bad karma, they will become quieted. See, take an example. If you declare your assets, whatever, your earlier dues are there, they will be reduced by half. See? So, declaring the assets in the right way, whatever bad things you have done, hidden your assets or not paid your taxes, will reduce it half. Therefore, some of the karmas are overpowered by the good karmas. That is why iha eva karmani kartum ichhasva. One should sukrutani karmani. One should do the good karma. So, kavayaha maharshi karma vedayante. This is how the wise people tell us. Now the second thing, what happens to this aniyata karma vipakaha? These undecided karmas. Second possibility is pradhana karmani avapagamanam. In the major karma, they are included. So, idamuktam. Yatra idamuktam. This is said here. Swalpa sankaraha syat shakyo hi kiyata prayaschittena parihartum. For example, kushalasya apakarshaya na alam. Kasmad kushalam hi bahuvanyadasti yatra avapam gataha ayam papa samskaraha sargepi alpam apakarsham nyunata karichati iti apagavatvam hi. So, the second thing is, one has done quite a lot good karma. But because of the bad karma, his good karma results, suppose they are supposed to get 100, because of this bad karma, it will be reduced. Instead of getting 100, he will get 90. So this is how the karmas are taken care of in the result of the good karmas. This is the second one. Now the third one. Niyata vipaka pradhana karmana abhibhutasya chiram avasthanam. And when the niyata karma, which are the determined karma to be exhausted in the present life, because they have come recently from the last life, and because of their abhibhutasya, because of their overpowering, the other karmashaya becomes secondary and their chiram avasthanam and remains dormant for many, many lives. So, how this happens? Now this is also explained in a very beautiful way. Maranam adrushta janma vedaniyasya eva niyata vipakasya karmanaha samanam abhivyakti karanam uktam. So, the death is also the result of the adrushta from the last life's karma vipaka, samanam. They are together or similar. This is also said. Natu adrushta janma vedaniyasya aniyata vipakasya. But that which is not definitely to be manifested, about that it cannot be said. And therefore, concluding, it is said, adrushta janma vedaniya anita karma tat nashed avapam vivagachet abhibhutam va bhavati. Therefore, from the last life, whichever is the unmanifesting type of karma, they will have these three options which we told you. First, it is nashed, it is destroyed without giving the result, or avapam gachet, included in the results of the good karma, or the third, abhibhutam va, it will be suppressed because of the present karma. In this manner, these three karmas have these three kinds of result, and therefore asya abhivanjakasya nimittam samanam karyam vipakabhimukam na karoti tad vipakasya deshatah kalatah nimittascha kim gati iyam karma gati vichitra durvidjnana. And therefore, which karma will be not giving the results, or the which karma phala will not manifest, or which karma will be influencing the present good karma, and which karma will remain suppressed in the presence of the other karmas. This cannot be determined, this cannot be known. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Gahana karmano gatihi. So, after having said this, now when I was studying this, after studying the whole thing, the principle we have now understood clearly. I hope my use of word we is right. So make the point very clear. Karma vipaka from the last life total gives the present life. And the experiences that we have gone through many lives, they give the vasanas. And these vasanas come forward in all our lives because of those experiences, good or bad. And therefore we have got uniqueness in our character. Like, one girl I know, and I was so surprised because I am extremely afraid of snakes. The reason being, I know also, once I was swimming and I was floating quiet in a very big lake. And then I was absolutely standstill kind of thing. And then one snake came and, moved around my leg. Naturally, I just came out of the lake and put on my clothes and took my bicycle. I was running so fast as the snake is following me. Now that impression is so deep that even if somebody brings a plastic snake, I don't want to look at it. Now these kind of impressions. Now, this girl I was telling you, we went to see one zoo. And it was a snake park. I said, hey, what is there to see? Let us go somewhere. No, Swami, I like snakes. Alright, so I can't say no before her. She is hardly a 12 years girl, And when he was showing explanation, she was very attentively listening. Then he said, will anybody like to have a photograph with a python? I can put it on your body. Yes, uncle, please. And used python she put on her body and she was playing and we have taken photograph. And then he said, you can even, show your tongue, he will touch your tongue. So she took that, mouth of the python, he was taking out the tongue and she took out Ram, Ram, Ram. No fear. So this kind of experiences which one has gone through earlier lives, they create the samskar called as vasana, and they influence our lifestyle depending on the jati ayur bhogaha. So make this point very clear to you. Now among them, these various samskaras which are adrushta phala, adrushta janma vedaniyam, which are not created in the present life. So how they will manifest, in which way they will manifest, so there are three options. And therefore it is said that we cannot say with firmness anything about karma. Therefore gahana karmano gati. This is in short I told you. Now the 14th sutra tells us te lhada paritapa phalaha punya punya hetutvat. And before we take this, when I was finished studying this thing and I was just sitting quiet, what came in my mind was, in all this, the hero is not being taken care of. Who is the hero? Who is doing the karma? Okay? Who is doing the karma? Prakriti doesn't do. Purusha is asanga akarta. Who is doing the karma? So when the Purushaha prakritisto hi bhunti prakritijan gunan, 14th chapter we will study. When the Purusha is identified in the Prakriti, then Prakriti Jan Gunan Bhungte, then he start experiencing the three gunas of the Prakriti. Therefore, this conditioned expression of the Purusha is only the experiencer. So when we have the Viveka Khyati in the Sampradnyat Samadhi, so in Viveka Khyati, one is able to very clearly separate out Purusha from the Prakriti or the Buddhi Tattva. And when this happens, where is the experiencer? So when the experiencer disappears, why bother about karma vipaka? See? That is why, till we are able to go into that depth, this becomes an extremely attractive science. See? Like, those people, the other day, in Bombay there was a conference, yoga conference, and I went there as a keynote speaker. And after 3-4 people, they spoke about That was Yoga Update 2000 or 2000. That time I went in Bombay. And then so many big people from various fields, they have come and they have started telling how I have come in this field. There is some one group, I don't remember the name. They tell, earlier I was bad, this thing, that thing, then I joined this group, and after I joined this group, now my relations with my mother, with my father, with my wife, with my children, they are very good, because we have learned here this thing, that thing. And in this way, 2-3 days, they will make fool of you. And then, on the last day, when they have a farewell party, it is compulsory for every participant to bring 1 or 2 guests. So those 1 or 2 guests, they become the victim for the next course. And all pomp and show, the American marketing strategy. And in that, everything is being done in a beautiful manner. And then, these people, among them only, somebody conducts, somebody talks and tells and all that. All those guests, suppose there are 100 participants, there will be 200 guests. And then all those guests hear from their own people. Oh, this happened, this happened. Now earlier I was not talking to my father, now I started talking. What is great about here, we fight every day with the father. Isn't it? Now that society where the relationships are strained, now we all sit together and dine. What is great about it? Everybody takes every day together food. And when we get up in the morning, we now say, each other, hello, good morning. Hare Ram Ram. As if these are great achievements. Isn't it? So, in this manner, when in that conference, everybody started telling, earlier I was like this, then I started this thing, because of that my health has totally changed, and therefore I follow yoga regularly. Very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, somebody's asthma has gone, somebody's pain has gone, somebody's back pain, somebody's headache, gone, like that. And thereafter I was supposed to talk. So I started. I said, I have started feeling that I have come to a conference where diseases are discussed. Now the Yoga Shastra is aimed at separating the Purusha and the Prakriti and discovering your essential nature, is it not? Tada drashtuhu swarupya avasthanam. So tada drashtuhu swasthya avasthanam. In the same manner, this is all true. See, according to Vedanta, whatever understanding I have, and I am very clear about it, this is a prakriya in between. No doubt it is helpful, no doubt it is good, no doubt it is an asset, there is no doubt. But this is not the end. It is something like, you buy something in the market, and when you are coming, so you just can't carry it like that. So it is packed properly and you bring it. Now that packing is only a conveying material, that's it. We don't have to keep on collecting all the packages material. No, throw it away. In the same manner, to bring to our cognition the absolute reality, this Jiva, Ishvara, Karma, Karma Siddhanta, then sin and merit, the earlier life, present life, future life, the 14 lokas, these are in between prakriya. You remember once I told you one song written by Eknath Maharaj. He writes, on the tip of a thorn were 3 villages. 2 were having 0 population, and in one nobody was living. In that village there were 3 pot makers. 2 were dead, 1 was never born. And then they made 3 pots. 2 were not roasted, 1 was kacha. And they had 3 sons. 2 were idiots, 1 was a fool. And then they carried those 3 pots to the market. On the way, they came across 3 rivers. 2 were dry, in 1 there was no water. And after having gone to the market, they have sold those pots. They got 3 rupees. Though khote, 2 were fake and 1 was not, usable. If you have understood this story, you are wise. If not, go to the Guru Maharaj and ask him, what is this? See, this is how this whole story is. Jiva, Papa, Punya, Karma, Ashaya, Samskara. Because our attention is not on the self. Therefore, it is so straight, our scriptures tell, that Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman So Shnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmanaha Vipaschiteti. The one who has recognized his essential self, he has done everything. See? Therefore, this Yoga Shastra we must practice, keeping in view that it is the one which gives us absolute self-discipline and absolute self-control. And when we have absolute self-discipline and self-control, then only the asamprajñat samadhi can take place. And in that asamprajñat samadhi, there is the rutambhara prajña. And when the rutambhara prajña takes place, now don't apply the rutambhara prajña again in the objective world. But now apply that to know who am I. When this rutambhara prajña is applied in the objective world, siddhis start manifesting. When the same rutambhara prajña is employed in the subjective inquiry, then the truth is revealed. This is the basic difference. Like if you take the life of Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, he has never said or explained or given any importance to any siddhis. That doesn't mean he didn't have, he had everything. But that is not the purpose. Purpose is totally different. How it was, one example I'll give you. There was one foreigner from Denmark, and he came to Ramana Ashram, and he was sitting there for 3 days. Every day he will come where Bhagavan is sitting and sit there. Nothing to talk. Bhagavan also doesn't talk, only sitting quiet. On the 3rd day, just before going to breakfast, Bhagavan said, yes, shunyata. Only this much. And nobody knew what was said. And that message was for that particular seeker. And thereafter he called himself as Shunyata. Throughout life he lived as a Shunyata. He went to that Almoda side and lived there for more than 50-60 years. So, the experience of that man was certified by Bhagavan Ramana. Yes, where you reach experience of total absence, that which exists in the total absence is the truth. Now when we say the total absence, naturally the whole relativity disappears. And all karma, papa, punya, svarga, narak, everything is only valid in the relative world. Not only relative world, valid only when we are identified with the body. See how important it is. That day I gave you one thought. I hope you are contemplating on that. The thought is, we are seeing so many dreams. But because of so many dreams, a dream personality is never created. When we are having the waking experience, this waking personality itself is a doubtful preposition. So instead of discarding this doubtful preposition of the individuality in the waking state of the present life, we extend it beyond the present life. See the tragedy. And when we extend it beyond the present life, then earlier life, then karmashaya, then jati ayurvhoga, and the lot comes behind. Therefore, this Vedanta Shastra tells us, use Yogabhyas for attaining perfect control yourself, so that your mind doesn't remain as a problem for you. Therefore, you see in the 6th chapter, Bhagavan has brought out this topic. Yoga rudasya tasyeva shamaha karanamuchyate. And who is called as the Yoga Rudha? Yada hi nendriyartheshu na karmasu anushajyate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yoga rudas tadochyate. So when none of the worldly things ever attract us, when there is no obsession of any undertaking, and when the mind is free from all sankalpa, meaning yogaschitta vritti nirodha, asampradnyat samadhi, tatra rutam bara pradnya. Therefore, yoga rudasta jochyate. And after having come to this stage, then practice yoga in life. So what is the first yoga Bhagavan says in the 6th chapter? Tam vidyat dukkha sanyoga vyogam yoga sanjitam. Yoga is separation, not union. Separation from what? Separation from the misery. When you separate from the misery, you cannot remain miserable. And who is miserable? Not the absolute reality, but the conditioned one. And here the Viveka Khyati takes place. And when Viveka Khyati takes place, then Yasmin Sarvani Bhutani, Yasmin Atman Nevanupashyati. When everything is in me, Sarva Bhutastam Atmanam Sarva Bhutani Chatmani Ikshate Yoga Yuktatma Sarvatra Samadarshana. See? This is the ultimate. Tattvamasi Mahavakya Upadesh. Therefore, these things what we are studying, they are to be understood with a guarded wisdom. Otherwise, we will get carried away by this and forget the truth. This should not happen. Now, these karmashayas, what is to be done with them? The 14th sutra tells us, te lhada paritapa phalaha punya punya hetutvat te janmayur bhogaha punya hetuka sukha phalaha apunya hetuka dukkha phalaha iti. Now they, all these karmashayas, which are the givers of janma ayu bhoga, birth, longevity and the experiences. Punya hetuka sukha phalaha. If they are the results of good karma, they give us happiness. And apunya hetukaha dukkha phalaha. Now from this, learn one principle. What is that? Karma phalas are only of 2 types. There is no third karma phala. Many times, we do not know this principle and we say, I don't know what paap I have done in the last life, I have to get married to you. No, you don't get wife as a result of prarabdha or karma phala. You get joy and sorrows. See? What we get in our life has nothing to do with your earlier life. See? It is not said there. Say, jati ayu bhogaha, birth, longevity and experiences. Now experiences are only of 2 types, joy and sorrows. So people have everything and they could be happy as well as miserable. Or all they have nothing and yet they could be happy as well as miserable. So the presence or the absence of the things around has nothing to do with your experience of happiness and misery. Therefore, if our attention is on this, that whenever we have felt little low, miserable, understand, oh, Papa Phala is coming out. See? Or if we are experiencing happiness for no reason, then now is the Punya Phala which is coming out. Therefore, these are the two results. So, Punya Hetu ka Sukha Phala, Apunya Hetu ka Dukkha Phala iti. Yatha cha idam dukkham प्रतिकूलात्मकम एव विषय सुख कालेपि दुखम अस्ति एव प्रतिकूलात्मकम योगिनः. And what is said here, that यथा च इदम दुखम प्रतिकूलात्मकम एव, like the miseries are never liked by anybody. They are pratikula, they are not conducive. Nobody likes dukkham. Vishaya sukha kalepi dukkham iti eva asti eva. But when one is indulging in the worldly joys, that time it is misery indeed. For whom? Yoginaha. See? In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says this thing. Adyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddhaha. All the experiences which are the result of your sense organs going and touching the sense objects. In the 18th chapter, Bhagavan says, this is the Rajasic Sukham. Yat tad indriya sanyogat adyam sukham pariname visham iva tat sukham rajasam smritam. So, I like this, nice mirchi, nice chutney, nice achar. It is so nice, and afterward, I think there is something wrong in the stomach. I think I am having, ulcer, and I am feeling very uncomfortable. Khate samay? It is so good. So, Vishaya Indriya Sanyogat Yat Agre Amrutopamam. It was so good. Pariname, as a result, miserable. Therefore, Vishaya Sukha Khale Api Dukkham Asti Pratikulatmakam Yoginaha. So those who are following the path of Yoga Abhyas, for them, even the Sukhas are also a source of misery. That means what? Yogis are always miserable. See? So at least these ignorant people are better. At least they are able to enjoy this world. It is true. If we really want to enjoy this world, we should be absolutely ignorant. You go and see, go to Chowpatty, Bombay, and see the things that they give. And it is so unhygienic, so dirty. Or you go to Delhi and chaat wala, tang, 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 tang. And you will see the people standing there in queue, waiting for their turn to come, and they want to get. In Bombay, there is one place I have seen somewhere. There, that fellow prepares this dosha. The dosha is not a big deal, but for eating his dosha, the people come and wait there for half an hour, 1 hour, and going on. So maybe the biological salt that he adds, therefore there is a different taste. Or maybe the same utensils are used again and again, and therefore the Purva Janma Samskar, they are coming. And those who do not know about it, they enjoy. And those who know about it, Hare Ram, Ram, Ram. I don't know how these people enjoy. You are those people. You are not lucky like us, enjoy. This is what life is. Therefore, yoginaha vishaya sukha kalepi dukkham asti eva. That is why they said, ignorance is bliss. So if you want to enjoy this world, be ignorant. Don't think. Eat to eat, and one day anyway you have to die. So why become old and die? Therefore, enjoy yourself fully and die fast. Now, katham tad iti uchyate, how during the experience of joy also, the yogis experience the misery. Is there some abnormality in them? No. This is said in the 15th Sutra. This is also very exhaustive definition and explanation on this sutra. We'll study in short and then I'll tell you in great detail in our next class. Parinama, Tapa, Samskara, Gunaihi, Gunavritti, Dukkhaihi, Gunavritti, Avirodhacha, Dukkhameva sarvam vivekinaha. Parinamatapa samskara dukkhaihi guna nivritti avirodhacha dukkhamevam sarvam vivekinaha. Vivekinaha for the wise people. This, the experience of happiness gained through the worldly enjoyments is misery because of the three reasons. What are those three? The first is parinama dukkha, second is tapa dukkha, and third is samskara dukkha. And because of these three kinds of miseries, the vritti avirodhacha, and they will not be able to stop the vrittis. Because what is the yoga? Chitta vritti nirodha. So these three things, they will never help you in the arresting of the chitta vrittis. Therefore, if you are enjoying the worldly things, our chitta vritti will not become quietened. And therefore, who is the yogi? Yogi's attention is yogaha chitta vritti nirodha. His attention is quietening the mind and transcending the various vrittis and then come to know tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. Therefore, these are the four reasons why vivekina dukkham eva sarvam. Why for the wise people this is all misery? Because of these four reasons. One reason, parinama dukkha, result is dukkha. Tapa dukkha, while experiencing there is misery. And samskara dukkha, it will create impressions in such a manner that you will become miserable. And fourth, vritti avirodhacha, they will not help us in attaining yogaha chitta vritti nirodha, this ultimate in the yoga. And therefore, this is considered as the dukkha for the yogis. Therefore, what is the definition of a yogi? Definition of a yogi, the one whose attention is on the definition of yoga. Yogaha chitta vritti nirodha. Therefore, this point I have been emphasizing again and again. When we are living in this world, we have to be extremely alert to find out what is happening to our mind. Become extremely alert. The moment you feel you are going low spirit, you are falling prey to the mind or the prakriti or something is bugging inside, throw it out. Don't justify. Don't have self-pity. I don't feel like, I don't know what is wrong. Nothing is wrong. Get out of it. Then only we are the seekers of truth. Otherwise, we become victim of our own thoughts. So, dukkhameva sarvam vivekinaha. The remaining portion, the commentary on this, we will see in our next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।